Hey there guys, today's video is all about GameStop, it's the short squeeze and how Reddit may have cost Wall Street billions of dollars. So let's get into it with GameStop. So what is GameStop? GameStop is a retail store that sells video games. I'm sure you've heard of it in the United States. They sell collectibles and other gaming equipment and things. But GameStop in general, it's been on decline for years, especially this year has obviously hit it hard. And you know, its stock price has been $2 or $3, you know, pretty much consistently. It's just been very, very low, as you would expect with most retail. Really, most retail sort of companies are just on the decline just because of online shopping and things. No one's going into physical stores anymore. Obviously, it costs a lot in rent and things when compared with just, you know, online sales. So it's you know, expectedly being, you know, a decline in stock really. So what's happened at the moment is with the short squeeze, as they're calling it, what's happened is you know, of GameStop's stocks, more stocks have been shorted than actually exist. And you know, it's the most shorted company, you know, it's just, and let's get into that a bit more. So what it is when you short a stock, you will basically you know, say the stock's $10. So what's happening is you're borrowing that stock from someone, and then you're hoping the stock price will go down. So let's say it goes down to 5, and then you will then buy you know, $10 there, and you will then be able to return you know, the original stock, and then you'll keep the profit. So that's basically how it works, and that's why tons of, you know, financial institutions and things you know, shorting GameStop stock, because it's just an obvious one that's going to decline really. You know, it's been, you know, you've just got to look at it over the last few years, just constantly declining. So it's an easy way for them to make money really, because they're just borrowing a stock, waiting for the price to drop, you know, getting more you know, value out of that, then buying that cheaper stock, and then just returning the original amount there, the original stock. So, you know, for these large financial institutions, you know, Wall Street bankers and all this kind of, you know, they're making a fortune off of this, at least before, you know, what's currently happened. So what's happened is, on Reddit, a lot of people have got together and been buying call options for GameStop. So basically, you know, if you're buying the shares, and the problem with shorting stocks, let's say first, for example, if you just buy a stock and to invest, say it's $10, you know, the most you can lose is $10 there. You know, absolute most you can lose is $10 if you just buy one, and that's the price. So when you short stocks, you know, that guy's borrowing one stock, you know, which at the moment is worth $10. And then say, for example, like everyone on Reddit starts buying the stocks and the stock price shoots through the roof to $300. Now that guy, you know, he owes that first person the stock back. So they need to then buy that stock for $300 in order to be able to return it. So what they were banking on is that the price would go down. But as everyone's banded together on Reddit, on wallstreetbets, and you know, the actual, you know, the stock price is absolutely shot through the roof. It's absolutely right up there. You know, these people are sort of panicking now, with these institutions, things that have invested in these, you know, shorts, that they were, you know, expecting to make plenty of money. And now, as they've seen the price just absolutely increasing at such a fast rate, they're panicking and they're having to buy those stocks quickly, you know, to return them to the person they borrowed them from. And obviously they're buying them at even more money. It's costing them a fortune basically. You know, so when you are dealing with this, you know, shorting stocks and things, you can lose a lot of money, and this is an example of it. Because as I said before, if you just buy a stock and you hold it and it's $10, then, you know, worst that can happen is you lose $10. But if these guys buy it for $10 and the stock price increases to $300, they then need to, you know, replace that stock that they borrowed. It's going to cost them $300. So they're losing absolutely tons of money. I believe that over $1 billion's been lost. And you know, there's a guy on Reddit as well, I believe, since over 2 years, I think, he's had you know, $50,000 invested in GameStop stocks, and you know, that went down. He lost a lot of money. I believe it went down to 30,000 or so, and it's now worth $22 million, or you know, just over $22 million. So you know, just incredible. There's a lot of people that have made, you know, some really good money with this, and obviously it's a real kick in the teeth to a lot of these you know, big financial companies that do a lot of, you know, investing. Now the thing with this, I mean, it's not you know, all these companies now are complaining about how they're sort of, you know, influencing the stock market. You know, they're sort of you know, that it's not a good practice or whatever. But you know, all of these companies, that's all they do. All they do is, you know, kind of influence the prices in their favour. That's all. You know, they're all at it. But when it goes against them, you know, there's an uproar. But as I said, plenty of money has been earned from a stock that you perhaps wouldn't expect, GameStop. You know, this is the reason really why I just love you know, investing in you know, stocks and shares. You know, it's just, there's constantly something going on. There's always a new company that's blowing up and being, you know, and obviously I wasn't expecting this when I you know, read about this today. Just incredible what they've done on Reddit. You know, just, you know, getting people together, you know, just to you know, to basically cause all of these institutions to lose a fortune, and for them to make a fortune, because these the people that have, you know, shorted the stocks, they need to return that borrowed stock, basically. So if the price goes up to 10,000, they're going to lose. Probably, maybe they bought it, you know, they borrowed it when it was, you know, at $3 or something, and then it goes up to, you know, 10,000. They'd have to pay, you know, they'd lose literally, you know, 10,000 practically. So that's why they're panicking, and they're buying the stocks now. But that in turn is increasing it even further, just because, you know, they're buying at these higher prices. It's just causing it to rise more. So you know, an interesting day in regards to the to GameStop. Another thing, even Elon Musk, you know, the old the Tesla boss, he's been tweeting about it as well. I believe he put GameStonk or something on Twitter, and he put a link to the wallstreetbets you know, subreddit on Reddit there. So that obviously got a lot of attention. You know, a lot of people follow his account. So you know, everyone's talking about this. You know, very, very interesting. I think it's great. I don't see, you know, they've not done anything wrong by, you know, trying to do this. I mean, very intelligent people, you know, to have thought it through to such an extent, and you know, actually, you know, been able to cause this. Really incredible. You know, that just, you know, just a few people on Reddit, you know, have managed to turn you know, a $2 stock in now. I believe it's up to over $250 at the moment. As I said, one guy is you know, it went from 50,000 down to 34, and now up to 22 million plus. So absolutely tons of money being made there. I don't know if it's actually sold the stocks that it's got in there in GameStop. I probably would, to be honest. I'd panic. There's people saying it's going to go up to 1,000 or more. Problem is, I mean, if you're at 22 million now, just take it out. I mean, when you sort of wait and wait, imagine if it dropped down to $2 or something. I mean, you should just lose all of that, and it'd be, you know, it'd be a, you know, terrible loss. So hopefully he cashes out on there, and hopefully this teaches something to those, you know, big institutions, you know, Wall Street and all of them, that, you know, just a few people, and they've lost, you know, absolute fortune. So good on the people of Reddit. Great to see that, you know, people are being able to make money. And you know, GameStop as well. I mean, it's always it's a great store, it's a great name. Not for trade-ins, you know, they don't give anything for trade-ins, do they? But you know, I always enjoyed it when I was young, you know, going into the game store. There's something different about it than rather than just, you know, buying online. So for the company as well, you know, I'm happy that the stock price has increased. Hopefully it stays, you know, high, and it can help them, you know, reinvest the money and things like that. So if it stays that way, great. So give the video a like, guys. Thanks for watching, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.